Morning. Put some Ravi Shankar on today. seemed appropriate. I put some Ravi Shankar on. I got my beads, so I look a bit more like Russell Brand, but I've got my sheriff's badge on as well, just so you know that I'm on top of this and someone's got to be in control, right? And I wanted to start by saying today that I've got sponsorship for these little videos that I'm doing. So this broadcast is brought to you by Donald Trump, 45th President Donald Trump crispy milk chocolate. I can't read the ingredients without my glasses. I think it's full of fat. Was it fat, lard, poison, 4 million calories, and a really fucking great dose of bile. So buy this. It'll make you fat and stupid, just like Donald Trump. And I want to talk about objectification today and shadow, because it's just something. There's a phrase that keeps going through my mind, and I think I'm probably the first person to think it, and you heard it here first. But I think Donald Trump is a complete fucking cunt. But there's a problem with that, because cunt's a very lovely thing, and it's strange, isn't it, how we use these things. I loved how when the Sex Pistols released Never Mind the Bollocks, they were taken to court for obscenity, and they fought it and they won, and the ever eloquent and absolutely brilliant John Lydon put a very good case, saying this is Chaucerian language. This is you can't make our language illegal. You can twist our language, and this is one of the things that I'm terribly guilty of. And using words that in their origin are very beautiful. Come on, you can't really call Donald Trump a cunt. A cunt's a beautiful, beautiful thing that we all came from. And Donald Trump really isn't. But in that, I thought it's a pretty good time, seeing as we're all stuck at, we're all in this situation, which is where they put prisoners, right? If you're in prison, well, now they're letting everyone out, but fair dues, really. But if you're stuck in prison and you continue to be bad, they put you in solitary confinement. So I found myself in solitary confinement, hence my rather dark, twisted sense of humour, perhaps taking over even more than it might normally do so. And that shadow side, you can go really mental, and I find myself having some really dark thoughts. So this morning I was in the bath, and I genuinely had the thought, because I got this stupid thing that I do. I get up, I get in the bath, and I watch the news on my phone, and it just sets me up for the worst imaginable day possible. And you got Trump going, let's fill all the churches with people by Easter Sunday, and then you've got that brilliant doctor bloke who just sits there. You can see him just wringing his hands going, Donald, shut up, you stupid cunt, quietly. Well, America's it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And there's this it's a kind of racist, I think there's always been a racist undercurrent with this even the idea, how can someone like Donald Trump be president of this country? Surely it's only in little strange African dictatorships where mad brown people who eat each other become president. We can't have this in the West. And you fucking got him, mate. And now he's attempting to run this country, and I actually heard there's a beautiful, beautiful man called Gabor Mate, who I heard on the Joe Rogan podcast, who is the only person I've heard talk with any compassion about Donald Trump, saying, he grew up his brother drank himself to death. His father was clearly a monster. He was sent to military school, what were we expecting? But I don't think that's an excuse, because I think Donald Trump was a really horrible bullying person from really, really on, like a lot of sociopaths are. But, he's absolutely mad. And I found myself sitting in the bath genuinely thinking, fuck it. I hope 1 million Americans die. I hope 1 million. I mean, this is Holocaust thinking coming from me, right? I hope 1 million Americans die, just to fucking prove him wrong. And then I was like, well, maybe not. But this is the trouble is it's because I'm not thinking of them as people. I'm thinking of them as just 1 million Americans, which is just numbers, right? And we can never really get our head around the statistics and people. I mean, Stalin said that, didn't he? He said that the death of what a single person is a tragedy, the death of millions of people is a statistic, and he fucking proved that one as well, because he was a proper cunt. Excuse my French. So I think it's a really, really interesting time to look at this dark sides of ourselves, given that we've got plenty of time on our hands. And I recommended, where is it? I've got all my favourite books on the table in front of me, which is, oh bollocks! Sorry, I dropped the phone because I had it balanced on one of my favourite books. So I've got Biggles of the Camel Squadron, which was one of my favourites when I was a kid. It's absolutely ram-packed with racism, particularly about the Chinese. If there was anyone who thought this was a Chinese virus, you can bet it was Biggles, because this is 1930s old school shit. This is worse than Enid Blyton. We were raised on this crap in our country. I got Tribe, which again I really, really hugely recommend. It's what we need to be doing right now, is coming together, and it's the opposite, in some ways, it's the opposite of this kind of objectification that I'm talking about. And then I've got this one, which is a guy called Robert A. Johnson, not the amazing blues player who sold his soul to the devil and all that, but he was a really beautiful, very, very good Jungian analyst. I'm dyslexic as fuck, can't read anything. These are really, really easy reads. And this is about owning your own shadow. And given that I wished death on 1 million people this morning in the bath, I might want to revisit it again. But, you know, really, this is no time for hatred. It doesn't, you know, I enjoy it. I enjoy hate. I get a lot of pleasure. But it's a kind of, from hating Trump, but it's the kind of pleasure you get from picking at a scab or something like that. It's not actually terribly healthy or good for our psyches, I don't think. and you know, Boris Johnson, it's all about blame, innit? And I think that if we start to look at our shadow sides, we might start to catch ourselves before we go, fuck it, I'm having all of this toilet roll, or I'm going to have the last can of beans or whatever, because that shadow gets out of control, and then things are going to get a little bit scary. I mean, they're quite scary at the moment, but I think what we need right now is to really be brutally honest with ourselves and look at what horrible people we can be in order to be the most beautiful people we can be. So on that bombshell, I'm going to shut up, because I can't do this Russell Brand impression all day, and I've got some work to do. Anyway, lots of love. Hope you're all staying sane. And if you're around 3 o'clock this afternoon, we're doing a chaotic Zoom, see if anyone can get a word in edgeways, meet up. The link's on my Facebook thing. Lots of love. Namaste.